So this is my second video where I will try to explain the problem that I have solved. So I have worked on multiple machine learning algorithms and I am quite expert in it. But what uh, I set a goal to solve uh, problems to improve my coding skills or problem solving skills. So I know this problem is very simple and very basic, but uh, the, my two goals are to improve my uh, problem solving skills and second one to improve my communication skills. So I will try to explain the best. I will try to give my best here and will try to explain everything. So it didn't take took me a lot of time to solve this problem because it is very easy one and uh, when I will explain it to you, obviously you will get, oh, that's what happened to me when I tried to explain something. So I didn't find us. Let's just proceed the problem. So what we have to do is we need to find the consecutive ones in a binary array. Uh, so what we have, this code is right below here. I asked the GPT to write it some test cases for me that one by one go to the function and the function will return something, and based on that test case and the code you will have to tell or you will have to print is the test is it that does my code pass the test case or not. So this code here is irrelevant to us. What relevant is this function that I run. So in this function, the array input array will be given to us, and first we will check if this array is null or none. If it is, then we will return none. So for that, the Python syntax is very simple. We just said if not arr. This checks if the array is empty or if it is null or none. And after this step, if the array contains some elements like 1 0 or three elements 1 1 1 1 or whatever the test case is, then we will go to the next step, which is we put the count equals to 1 and the last consecutive numbers like last consecutive numbers to 0. Well, I will explain. You will get to know what their function is in the next code. Then we will run a code for I in ARR. This means that for every element in array, we get the first element, then the second, then the third, then the fourth, and pass it to the I. So this I will have the elements of array one by one. Okay, so if that I is double equal to 1, then we will uh, add +1 to the count. So this count is here is counting the number of consecutive ones we currently have in the array. So when what happens is if we somewhere in the array, let's say take this test case here. First, what happens is the array is not empty. Yes, count equal to 0, last consecutive is equal to 0, and then we will run a for loop for array I in ARR. The first time the loop run, we will have 1 in I. So is I equal to 1? Yes, then we will increment in the count. Then we will the array. Then we will move to then we will the loop run again, and then the next time then this one will be passed to the I. Then our code check if this I is equal to 1, yes, then increment in the array. Then the next type our array will run and we will check if this I is equal to 1. Is it? Obviously our uh, this this is not equal to 1, so this will become false, and then we will check else if is this I is equal to 0. Is it? Yes, it is true because it is our third iteration, and this time I is equal to 0, so this condition is true, and then we will check if the last consecutive is less than count. So what exactly is our last consecutive for right now? It is 0. Okay, so the last consecutive is 0. Count is what? 2, because first one first time we increment 1 in the count, the second time we increment 1 in the count, so count becomes 2, last consecutive is 0. 0 is less than 2, this condition becomes true, so last consecutive will be equal to count. Why are we doing it here, the last consecutive? Last consecutive is storing the last consecutive ones we found in the array, and we are keeping a record of that, because the next time when we are encounter a 0 in a loop, uh, so last consecutive, these consecutive ones ended here, then if there is a 0, so if some ones appear, we are getting some more ones like 3 or 4 ones next, so we can compare it to the previous ones. If the previous ones are more than the next consecutive ones, then we will not set the last consecutive equals to count. Okay. So what happens here is count becomes 0. Now what happens? Then we will move to the next iteration. This time the count is equal to. So keep in mind that last consecutive currently is equal to 2, because, yeah, because of these ones. Okay. So when we move to the next iteration after 0, did we, yes, we get 1? Yes, we get 1. Is it uh, is it 1? Yes, it is 1. So we will increment 1 in the count. Keep in mind that the count is currently 0, because after when we encountered 0 here, we set the count equal to 0. So now the count is again equal to 1 because we encountered 1 here. Now what happens is we will then the loop winner, and then on the next iteration, the count will again equal to I is again equal to 1. We are here, count is equal to 1. Then again in the next iteration, is it 1? Yes, it is 1. Then we will increment in the count, and the count will become 3. Now in the next loop, in the next iteration will not happen because the loop is ended. Okay, so what happens if the loop is ended? Then we will check last consecutive. Is the last consecutive, sorry, from the last consecutive and the count, which one is the maximum? Okay, so what was in the last consecutive? It was 2. Okay, and what was in the count? What is in the count? It is 1. It is 3. So out of this last consecutive and count, which one is greater? uh, so it is the count. So count, the max will return the value of count and put it in the last consecutive, and then we will return the last consecutive uh, to the uh, then we'll return the last consecutive to and put it in the result, and this loop will check if it is a correct answer or not. So let's increase the test case to 0, 1, comma 1 to understand the loop even better. So after this 1, where increment becomes 3, then upon the next iteration, we will get, I will be equal to 0. Is I equal to 1? No, it will become false. Is it equal to 0? Yes, it is true. So this iteration will run if the last consecutive is less than the count. Keep in mind that we are currently here. Okay, so what was the count? Count becomes 3 due to this array here. and the last consecutive was 2. So it last consecutive? Is last consecutive is less than count? Yes, it is. So count last consecutive will become will be equal to count. What's the value inside the count? It is 3. So 3 will be in the last consecutive, and then again put the count equal to 0. And in the next iteration, count will become 1, the count will become 1, loop ended, then we will check is from the last consecutive and the count which one is greater. Where in that scenario, the last consecutive is greater, so last consecutive will be equal to the last consecutive, uh, and then we will return that value. Okay, so in that case, the code will still return 3. So this is the most simple explanation that I can give you. I know maybe it is not the greatest explanation, it can be the dumbest explanation, but this is okay. So bye bye. See you in the next problem. Don't forget to dislike.